Hey everybody, just wanted to make this video because I know that online learning has been stressful for a lot of you. It's been a month of big changes in everybody's lives, but also just in the way that we learn and how things are done that way. I know a lot of you have very stressful workloads and so forth. So today I just wanted to do something really simple and kind of fun, and that's learn about one of my favorite and craziest animals in the world, the mantis shrimp. So this is just going to be a short one, talking about some pretty awesome biology. So when we talk about the mantis shrimp, it's really just a case of like, what in the world is going on here, right? It's an insane looking creature. You can see the very bright colors of its shell, and its eyes look insane. It has these crazy looking antenna-like structures. But we'll talk about a couple of these things just really fast, but it is a fascinating creature. Just for scale, these things are as long as a normal pencil to maybe a little bit over 30 or 40 centimeters. So they can get pretty long, right? But they have some incredible characteristics. And the first one that I want to talk about, with these incredible and insane characteristics, here's another picture of one, is their eyes. This is just a zoomed in picture of their eyes here. You can see, first of all, their eyes are very interesting looking. They have these three different bands, and these are actually three different compound eyes. So they really kind of have six compound eyes. And this right here, this black streak, is where they are receiving the most light. And so they can actually shift their focus just by shifting which which of their compound eye cells is receiving the most light. And so you can see that this is where it is focusing the most in this band here. Fascinating stuff. So that's insane just by itself. How their eyes are kind of segmented into different portions and how they can focus on different things. But that's not the craziest thing about their eyes. Their eyes are crazy in how they receive color. So just for reference, humans and other trichromatic animals have three types of color receiving cones. So we have three cones in our eyes that receive red, green, and blue light. Some animals only have two. Um, Dogs and cats only have two. They don't really see the same colors that we do, because they can't make out reds and yellows and so forth. They really just see red, green, or sorry, blue and green. Um, so, but we and other trichromatic animals can see three colors. So there are some people, mostly women, actually, interestingly enough, that actually have four different types of cones and can differentiate more colors. Um, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. So we have three cones, and it allows us to see all of the colors of the color wheel here, the reds and purples, blues, purples. I said purples twice, greens, yellows, all of that. Well, when we look at mantis shrimp have 16 types of cones. So we have three, right? Red, green, blue. Mantis shrimps have 16 types of cones in their eyes. And so imagine the number of color combinations that they would be able to see with not three colors, but 16 colors, all mixing together in different combinations. We do not really understand why they evolved this way or why they developed this trait, but this is a truly incredible thing that their eyes do. They can see 16 different types of colors because they have 16 cones. And that's 16 combinations, right? That's the combinations of all these different 16 colors. This image here is obviously not what they see. I just tried to find the trippiest color wheel I could find, because we can't really imagine colors outside of our visual range, because we've never experienced anything other than our visual range. People who are colorblind, who are given the ability to see the color that they haven't been seeing their whole life, are experiencing that for the first time. Those are colors that they never would have been able to imagine. So 16 different cones, allowing for thousands and thousands of colors that we have never seen and that we will never be able to conceive of. The second thing I want to talk about is that these shrimps have extremely fast punches. And if you've seen the show One Punch Man, obviously this is a reference to that. If you haven't seen it, this is like a 2016, 2017 reference, I guess. So it's a little bit dated, but this was a really popular show. They have the ability to punch faster than any creature for their size. So the mantis shrimp has a punch that is as powerful as a shotgun blast. They have these claw hammer things that they can strike things with. Some mantis shrimps have like spears, but the one that we're going to talk about is specifically the pistol shrimp, and it is named that for obvious reasons. Striking appendages of a mantis shrimp can accelerate at 102,000 meters per second squared. That's really fast. Okay. Um, the acceleration time is very, very short, so they don't get going all that fast. However, because it's moving so quickly, over a short distance, it really makes that distance in a short amount of time. So in a fraction of a second, it can move its striking appendages very, very quickly. In comparison, the human appendages, right? The human appendages are capable of an acceleration of 392 meters per second squared. And that was based on some information that I could find on the fastest pitchers in the world. That is how fast, it's kind of the limit of how fast humans can move their appendages. It's how fast Major League Baseball pitchers can move their hand, which when they release the ball, it's moving at something like 280 kilometers per second, or sorry, kilometers per hour. 280 kilometers per second would be really fast. So yeah, we are 260 times slower in our acceleration of our appendages than the mantis shrimp. It is so fast that it breaks the enclosure glass of most aquariums, and it actually makes the water behind their strike flash boil. It's really crazy. We don't really understand a lot of what's going on, but for some reason, it actually also releases some light when it strikes against things. It's amazing. So they don't really have to even hit something for it to stun or kill. They can completely miss and it will still stun their prey. They use these to crack open clams and so forth. And the way that they do it is that they ratchet it back, and then it has a almost kind of like a lever system that keeps it in place. And then once it's ratcheted back, they don't actually use the muscles. It's a lot like a bow and arrow, where you pull the bow back and then you let the tensile strength of the wood or the carbon fiber or whatever your bow is made out of spring forward to generate that velocity. You'd never be able to generate that velocity by throwing, so you allow the tensile strength of the wood to do that. They have the same kind of thing, but it's part of their carapace, which is like their shell, that is bowing back like this to create all sorts of tension, and then is released all at the same time. Pretty amazing. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Here's the more excited if you're interested in going and reading more about this stuff. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Let's all do this together. We're all in this together and learn some stuff while we're at it. Thanks for tuning in.